It's Justin. Welcome to Live Ask Me Anything number 45. That's a lot of AMAs. That means 45 weeks that we've been doing this weekly Live Ask Me Anything. Getting crazy. Tonight's episode is nuts, and I can't wait to jump in. First things first, we just have to check out how things are going. So, this is Live Ask Me Anything. I need to check the Facebook page first and foremost. Facebook.com/TheClovisCulture. I'm hitting the refresh button. Let me turn this monitor real quick so I can see it a little bit better. I see the live. Let me just scroll down. You guys know the drill. We got some live viewers. I'm gonna click for more. Okay, opened up. Boom, we got people. Hi Liz, hi Sean, hi Laura, hi Jackie, hi Taylor, hi Krista. So many people. This is awesome. Okay, Ask Me Anything, number 45. I'm gonna try to jump into this one pretty quick. What's up, Taylor? Because I have so much to cover. This is ridiculous. I spent all day thinking about the best way to do that, and I built out an AMA that was absurdly long, way too long, and just spent the last couple hours chopping stuff away that is not of vital importance, because I'm gonna give you guys basically the rundown of Clovis in a nutshell. For those of you that don't know what's going on right now, you just stumbled across this, you were on a Clovis Live Ask Me Anything, AMA, Ask Me Anything. See what I did there? Very clever, I know. This is a weekly segment done every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central where people ask me questions. Now, over time, this has kind of turned into lesson plans, more or less, where I just teach people about the most popular topics of the week that come from my Facebook groups. These are the Clovis private Facebook groups. We have the Clovis Academy, we have I Am Clovis, there's Clovis Kids, there's all these incredible groups on Facebook. Okay, hold on one second. I just need to make sure of something. There's so much to keep track of because I want to use this nice microphone, which means that I need to get that all set up. So let's see here. AMA number 45, that's recording. All right, so I didn't record the full intro on GarageBand with my fancy microphone. Not a big deal, that only affects the podcast. You guys don't care. Okay, back to basics, number 45. This is Ask Me Anything number 45. It's called Back to Basics for the Newbies. So here's what has happened. Over time, over this 45 weeks, these have turned into full-blown lesson plans. If you go back over the 60 plus hours of content on the podcast and the Ask Me Anything pages, IamClovis.com/AMA. This is also at Clovis.show, the new website dedicated just to the podcast, Clovis.show. If you studied all of this, you would literally know everything that you need to know about nutrition to live a long, happy, fulfilled life of longevity. You die old and happy of natural causes, right? I'm telling you, I am that confident in the information. But what has happened is we have more and more new people coming into the fold, coming into this Clovis world, getting the custom nutrition plan, joining I Am Clovis and all these things, and it's overwhelming. They don't know where to start. So I've decided to do this episode, Back to Basics for the Newbies, and shift the entire way the AMAs are gonna work. So there's a new podcast called the Perfect Paleo Podcast. That's my podcast. Go to Clovis.show to see that. Hold on. Excuse my chicken scratch. That says Clovis.show. Go to Clovis.show to learn all about the podcast, right? Now the podcast is gonna be something like 3 to 4 episodes a week. It's a tremendous amount of content. There are interviews with experts on there. The most recent one is with Steph Gaudreau from StupidEasyPaleo.com. Autumn Smith was on there from Paleo Valley. I did an episode with my dad. I have a ton of great guests coming up. Probably gonna release those on Mondays. These AMA episodes go out as podcasts every Thursday. Friday, I do an In Case You Missed It live series on Instagram that I'll probably add to the podcast. Now I'm coming out with episodes called Just Justin, which is me basically talking about particular topics. The last one I talked about was called Working in the Dark. It's a very popular podcast. Go check that one out. You guys did tons of downloads on that one. Thank you. I'm super proud of that episode. It's called Working in the Dark. So with all this new information coming out, all of this new infotainment coming out, I'm gonna shift things. I have 45, including this one, 45 lesson plan style AMAs. Now I'm going to use the AMAs weekly to really answer questions. Come on here live, see what questions you have, answer them in real time with you as face-to-face as we can get thanks to the internet, right? So the AMAs are really going to be for the newbies. That's what I'm going to do, the new people coming in who are confused and don't know where to go. So tonight I'm going to mention a lot of other AMAs. You can find those at Clovis.show, okay? So when I mention the other AMAs, go here and you can find the ones that I talk about. I'm not going to go deep into things today. I had a whole detailed thing thing that I was like, okay, this is crazy. It's going to take 3 hours. And so I'm just going to hammer through everything. We're going to go through, then I'm going to take live questions at the end. So if you're a newbie, I hope you're a newbie, and I hope you're here, and I hope you get some questions in at the end, the last 15, 20 minutes. Tonight, with this episode, I'll stay as long as you need me to, just answering questions at the end, okay? So let's dive in. Ask Me Anything number 45, back to basics for the newbies. For those of you that don't know me, real quick, my name is Justin Nault. I am the founder and CEO of Clovis. I invented a line of products called The Perfect Paleo Powder. You can get those at iamclovis.com. I am a certified nutritional therapist, certified specialist in sports nutrition, certified specialist in fitness nutrition, and I'm in the business of transforming people's lives. I get amazing results in over 500 clients just in the year 2018 alone. You can go to iamclovis.com/start to learn more about that, see some incredible testimonies, amazing weight loss, fat loss, inches lost, people super happy, happy tears, talking about all the things that we've done through Clovis and lifestyle changes. Now I'm going to teach you a little bit about how that works. If you're brand new, I hope all the brand new people are here with us tonight, okay? So let me check real quick, make sure we have specific comments. What's up, what's up? Hey Kayla, hey Sam, hey Aaron, hey Carla, hey Stephanie, hey Judy. I made it. So excited to get my macros. Well, it depends. So Wednesday is AMA day, so I'm always super busy on AMA day, but you'll get your macros, don't worry, they're coming. And it depends on how many custom plans I get that day. So also to be clear, I'm gonna talk about that tonight. This is how I make your macros. I'm not like the other influencers, I hate that word, experts, whatever, that go online and use some freaking calculator from some website that's not even theirs to determine your macros. I do yours by hand. That's why it takes time, okay? That's what makes me different. We're gonna talk about that. Okay, so, got all the comments. What's up everybody? What's up tribe? Hi everybody. Random question, might sound dumb. Do humans have an actual instinct to stock up for the winter? They have an instinct to get fat for the winter. Yes, that's why fruit exists. The reason why fruit exists in nature is to get you fat. The reason why fruit exists and is seasonal in the summertime is so you eat a ton of it. And I also talked about this when I released the cookbook. There's a reason why you get certain cravings in the winter, in the fall and winter time. We love sugar. All the baked goods, all the warm baked goods, all the spiced chai tea, latte, mocha choca bullshits, right? Everybody wants sugar in the fall. Why is that? It's your body telling you to get fat for the winter, because winter historically has been a time of food scarcity. But now we don't have food scarcity, so everyone gets fat in the winter time. Okay? That's what happens. Yeah, all right. Let's chat. AMA number 45, back to basics for the newbies. Okay, first and foremost, let's talk about Clovis in a nutshell. When I say Clovis, I am talking about a custom nutrition plan. This is how it works. You buy a custom nutrition plan at iamclovis.com/start, iamclovis.com, wherever you want to go. You buy a custom nutrition plan. You get a welcome email from me with instructions. You follow those instructions. You join all the groups you need to join. You get full access to the iamclovis.com/members, the membership portal that has everything you need. The approved foods list, a reading list, my favorite books, my podcasts, videos from me, instructional videos, my favorite workout programs, my favorite supplements. Everything you could ever want is at iamclovis.com/members. You get access to that when you sign up. You follow the instructions, you send me information, age, height, weight, goals, activity levels, how much do you work out, any medical issues that we're dealing with, blah, 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 all these things. You send me all that information. I create a custom plan based on your individual needs, and no two custom nutrition plans have ever been the same in the history of Clovis. That's what makes Clovis different. Individualized nutrition should be the only form of nutrition practiced by anybody ever. Just to be clear about that. I don't do blanket statements except the approved foods list, because the approved foods list is very simple. Human foods, Clovis, non-human foods, everything else and most of the food pyramid. Non-human foods, non-negotiable, don't eat them, okay? It's that simple. The only blanket statement I give is that everybody should be living off the approved foods list. So you will get a custom nutrition plan, access to the approved foods list. I'm going to, by hand with a calculator, create custom macros for you. Now, macros are fat, protein, and net carbs, what you read on the back of a nutrition facts label, except everyone tells you to read calories, and they're all wrong. Don't worry about the calories. I give you fat, protein, net carbohydrates based on your needs. I take all the information you give me, take it into account, create you a custom nutrition plan. Now the goal is to hit these custom macros that I get you, hit your custom macros only using foods from the approved foods list, the Clovis approved foods list. This has well over 100 food items. If you tell me you need more variety, you're lying, okay? Just so you know, the Clovis approved foods list is amazing. It's incredible. It's the best approved foods list on the internet, period, right? So the idea is to hit the macros I give you every day, only using approved foods list. How do you know if you're hitting them? You track everything in an app called Carb Manager. carbmanager.com. That's it. All there is to it. I give you macros, you use a food tracking app to track your foods, using only approved foods, you hit your macros. That's the end of the story, everybody. Ding, 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 we're done. This is basically the end of AMA number 45, right? Literally, it's that easy. It's that simple. I remove all of the guesswork. It is hands down the easiest program on the internet right now, period. Why? Because there is no guesswork. I remove it completely. Now, let's tackle some of the most common questions I get. Then I will open this up to actual live Q&A with you, okay? So why does Clovis work? Because I allow your body to burn fat by finally allowing it to access stored body fat, adipose tissue, for fuel. You can't burn fat right now. If you're not a part of Clovis, you're a typical American on a standard American diet, you can't burn fat right now. That's why there's an obesity epidemic. Your fat is locked up and unable to be accessed. I help you access that fat. All you need to know is my Fat Loss 101 lesson. Now, to do that, Clovis.show, you can just use the search bar, type in the number sign 22. AMA 22 is my Fat Loss 101. It's called Back to Basics Fat Loss. And I teach you a gas tank analogy. You have two gas tanks. You have sugar and you have body fat. You cannot access body fat until all of the sugar is removed from your system, period. And all carbohydrates are glucose, sugar. Glucose equals sugar equals carbohydrates. They're all the same. Oatmeal, banana, bread, sweet potatoes, it's all carbohydrates. And they all get processed as sugar in the system. Remove sugar first, then you can access body fat as fuel. Anyone who tells you anything different, you can lose weight without giving up carbs. You can eat as many carbs as you want. Just count calories, then you lose. They're wrong. They are lying to you. They don't understand the biochemistry. They don't even know they're lying to you. They just don't understand the biochemistry because they don't study biochemistry, okay? So why we track macros and use approved foods. The reason why this happens is I make sure you hit your macros. You hit your macros to make sure you're getting enough food total. The reason why I have you use the approved foods list is to make sure you're hitting your micronutrients. Micronutrients are vitamins and minerals. Vitamins A, D, E, and K, your fat-soluble vitamins, all the C vitamins, all the B vitamins, antioxidants, phytonutrients, polyphenols, all these things, right? Your vitamins and minerals are micronutrients. Now, I have hand-selected every single approved food on the list for maximum nutrient density. So if you hit your macros only using the approved foods, I guarantee you're getting plenty of micronutrients. Most of you are micronutrient deficiency. I promise you this. How do I know that? Because 95% of all Americans have at least one micronutrient deficiency. To be clear, micronutrient deficiencies can kill you. But 60% of the American diet is grains that are horrible for you, and we're going to talk about that. So you are not getting micronutrients. You're overfed and malnourished. It's terrible. Clovis fixes that, okay? You're all micronutrient deficiency by the time you get to me. Now, I'm going to jump into questions. Now, not your questions, the questions that you already asked me today. I put a post up and I took the most popular questions. I'm going to try to hammer out all of them. Might go over a little bit on time tonight. Question. I'm just going to put this. Over, under, macros. The question I always get. How far over or under can I be at macros at the end of the day? This question drives me crazy. Put my head through a wall crazy. It drives me crazy, okay? Let me explain. Your macros are perfect. Hit them. That's it. All the guesswork is gone, you guys. I removed the guesswork. Why? Why on earth? Everyone that asked me this question, why would you pay me to create a plan if you're just gonna wing it and then at the end of the day go, hey Justin, I'm 30 grams over fat and 15 grams over protein and I ate 4 net carbs. Is that okay? Why are you paying me for a plan? I made your plan. Hit the damn macros. That's it. It's that simple. Hit your macros. If you are hungry beyond macros, in the beginning this can happen as your hunger hormones, leptin and ghrelin, fix themselves, basically. If you feel a little bit hungry, reach for protein. Protein is the most satiating macronutrient. It keeps you the most full while at the same time not in a significant way spiking insulin or blood glucose. It does to an extent, but not like carbohydrates, right? So it's going to allow you to continue to burn fat. If you feel a little hungry, reach for some protein, okay? But other than that, hit your macros. And the other thing is, what's the deal with net carbs? That's the other question that I get all the time. Now, we only track net carbs because dietary fiber does not count as a carbohydrate because the human body cannot digest it. But don't worry about that. The guesswork is removed. There's a reason why I use Carb Manager and not that piece of shit MyFitnessPal tracker, right? I make sure that you can do net carbs automatically. That's what Carb Manager is for. Guesswork, gone. There you go. Another obstacle out of the way. Don't even worry about what net carbs are. Just enter them like I tell you to. And I have video tutorials that teach you how to do this in the custom plan, right? So somehow, people in Clovis have decided that net carbs are evil. Anyone who thinks that is wrong, and I never taught them that. Clovis OGs, pay attention. Look at me. I never taught you that, ever. Okay? You decided this on your own, and it's incorrect. I give enough net carbs that you are forced to eat vegetables, but not enough net carbs that you can pig out on sweet potato casserole, right? What's the reason for this? Micronutrients. This is done on purpose. I give you enough net carbs that in order to hit those net carbs, you're going to have to eat a lot of green leafy vegetables, incredibly micronutrient dense. Virtually all of your net carbs are going to come from green leafy vegetables for maximum micronutrient density, right? Now, somewhere along the way, in one of the groups, I made the mistake of calling net carbs a limit that you should stay under. This is one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made, okay? You all took that information and ran with it like crazy, and I have deeply regretted those comments ever since. One of my biggest mistakes, because people started eating like 10 grams of net carbs per day and being proud of it. Like posting pictures of their carb, man. I ate 8 grams of net carbs today. I'm like, I didn't tell you to do that. Why did you do that, right? So to answer the question, how far over under macros can you go? Hit your macros, all of them. This is not difficult, not even a little bit, not even kind of. If you put 6.5 minutes of effort into this, you can track them perfectly. I've designed an incredible plan for you, so start doing it. All you have to do is sit down, as long as it takes, with the approved foods list and your Carb Manager app. Bring up your circle your favorite foods on the list. Okay, ground beef. Change the serving size, 6 ounces. Okay, 6 ounces of ground beef has this much protein, this much fat. Let me add that to a day and see what happens and see how my bar graphs look. Now let me add some broccoli. Now let me add some pecans. Now let me add some whatever, right? Map out the perfect day. Do it ahead of time. I don't care if you eat the same 3 meals. You don't have to eat 3 meals. You can eat 1 meal a day if you want. I don't care what you eat, how you eat it. I don't care if you eat the same exact foods every single day, 7 days a week. If you hit your macros, I'm happy. That's it. Why? Because you're only eating off the approved foods list. Hand selected for nutrient density. So the combo of your custom macros and your approved foods list literally equals perfect human health. And stop being afraid of net carbs, guys. I give them to you for a reason. How far over and under can you go? Don't. Hit your macros. End of stories. If you don't hit your macros, I cannot guarantee the results that you get. That's all there is to it, okay? Now, when we talk about hitting your macros, another question I get, do I hit my macros with every single meal or do I hit my macros every single day? And the answer is day, period. I don't care about every meal. Again, I don't care how you get your macros, just hit them every single day. That's it. Nice and easy. Now, if I had it my way, in a perfect world, you would save all of your net carbs for the end of the day. Don't start breakfast with carbohydrates. I've seen this is kind of happening in Clovis now too. People are having like paleo baked goods for breakfast. Don't do that. Don't do it, okay? So if I had it my way, you would save literally all your net carbs for the last 1 to 2 meals of the day. It might just be the last meal of the day, just a ton. Eat a pound of broccoli. I eat over a pound of broccoli a day, everyone. Over a pound of broccoli a day. And I eat kale, and I eat sauerkraut, and I eat fermented pickles, like tons of vegetables, right? So, but I wouldn't do carbs, a bunch of carbs at breakfast if I had to pick. But other than that, just hit your macros for the day. The other question I get is, paleo powder. Which paleo powder? As you guys know, I invented in this kitchen, 7 feet from here, I invented a line of nutritional products called the Perfect Paleo Powder. So people always ask me which paleo powder to take. Well, what the people in the academy don't realize is when you get a custom nutrition plan, I recommend a specific paleo powder for you. The only reason why I don't just blanketly recommend which paleo powder is right for you is because I don't know you. I need to know your goals. I do individualized nutrition, everybody. I made separate powders so you can kind of pick for yourself, kind of. And in AMA number 27, so AMA number 27. Now again, in this podcast, there's going to be show notes at clovis.show, and it's going to link to all of these. So I highly suggest you take advantage of the show notes after I post this episode and go to all these AMAs and learn these things. I do a full breakdown of what the perfect paleo powder is. Now, for most of you, you're coming to me obese or overweight. So I'm gonna tell you fat loss for fasting mimicking reasons in the beginning of the day to start your day with fat loss. A lot of people mix it with coffee. That's the most popular way to do it, is blend it with black coffee, right? So most people, I'm gonna recommend fat loss, but it depends. If you're active, it might be pre-workout, it might be post-workout, it might be both. It's different for everybody, okay? Paleo powder, that's that one. Now, another thing I want to touch on, because time is flying by, good Lord, this time goes by so fast. Okay, so I want to talk about fitness, the no fitness thing. Why no exercise? That is not true of everyone, but I have to say this. Most of you come to me overweight and obese. Anybody who tells you the first thing you should do to lose weight is intense exercise is a dummy. Don't take advice from them anymore. They're going to hurt you. If you come to me overweight and obese, the word that actually describes where you're at is sick. You are very sick, and we need to understand that, okay? You're not in a healthy state. The body is in trouble. The body is tremendously inflamed. There is a ton of stress on the body at all times just from being overweight. The last thing we need to do is put another stressor on top of it. Exercise causes inflammation. The body adapts to that inflammation. Acute stressors are good for the body. But if you're already stressed and inflamed due to being overweight or obese, exercise is going to work against you, okay? I promise you. Now, if you want to go deep on this, I've done this on a few different AMAs. So a really good one is AMA number 11. That is called Fitness for Fat Loss or Not. And the or not is what the whole episode is about. Fitness for fat loss or not. There are countless studies proving that exercise is a terrible way to induce fat loss. It simply doesn't work. I want to be clear about this. Well, I'll give you one more AMA, AMA number 35. So AMA number 11 and AMA number 35. I'll link to them in the show notes, but that's where you learn all about fitness, right? I love fitness. I train 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day, but I'm healthy enough to do so, and I am a Jedi of recovery, okay? I'm very good at these things. Now, exercise has nothing to do with fat loss. That's the only point I want to make. It's in both of those episodes, but exercise has nothing to do with fat loss. Exercise exists for 2 reasons. 1, skills. Improving specific skills. If you want to compete in jiu-jitsu, you have to train jiu-jitsu. If you want to be a boxer, you have to train boxing. If you want to run a marathon, you have to run, right? 2, muscle. So exercise only exists to improve skills or build muscle. That is it. Fat loss is not part of the equation. I promise you. I guarantee you this, okay? Fat loss is not part of the equation. Now, if you want to build muscle, you got to lift weights. You have to do some form of resistance training. That's all there is to it. So exercise is very good for specific things, and that's what I use it for. I don't need to lose fat, so I don't use it for that, okay? And the other idea is performance versus longevity. I want you guys to remember this. I will always focus on longevity unless you are a pro athlete. If you've been in Clovis for a while, you know that I work with professional athletes, okay? Now, I work with athletes who are very well aware that short-term performance and long-term longevity do not go hand in hand. In fact, they butt heads. Look up the staggering amount of world record-holding endurance athletes who have had cardiac events in old age. It works against you, okay? Performance, this kicking your ass in the gym 6 hours a day, is not a good thing for living a long, happy life. All of my athletes know this because I talk to them at length before I ever start working with them. And they have decided that the trade-off is worth it to them. So I tell normal people, unless you're getting paid, it's not worth it. I promise you. Because you want to compete in Joe Schmo's CrossFit thing on Saturday with a $20 grand prize of Hooters wings. It's not worth it, everybody. Not worth it, okay? I promise you. I don't recommend it unless you're getting paid. So let's see here. 8:30. Take a poke at some comments real quick. Pro athletes are playing finite games. Yes, 100%. Carbs have been my friend this week. Literally deleted MyFitnessPal today. Good. It's useless. Tell him, Justin. We eat a low number of carbs, but it's Clovis. Kind of, yeah. We eat a relatively, it's not that low, but anyway. Is this a low carb diet? Kind of. It's low compared to, the standard American diet is 300 to 600 grams of carbohydrates a day. That's insane. Now, technically speaking, people say anything under 100 grams of net carbs per day is a low carb diet. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. There are very few people, even my athletes, rarely eat more than 100 grams of net carbs per day. It's just not necessary, right? There's so much science behind that, fat adaptation, it's just crazy. But yeah, it would be considered a low carb diet. Yes, people would consider it a low carb diet, but I have different definitions of it than other people do, so it's a little bit different. Hop on, feel better. All right, we're back up to super hungry, cool. Pro athletes, we're back there. All right, let's jump back in. How much time we got? 30 minutes. Okay, so a few extra questions that I got that were in that post today. Why no grains? And the thing is, the question wasn't why no grains. The question was why no bread, rice, and pasta? People forget that there are very few food products when it comes to grains. And I've done this before in other AMAs, like the back to school special, where I talk about, can you guess what this product is by reading the ingredients? 60% of your grocery store has corn in it, right? All the ingredients on the boxes and labels and all these things. It's insane, right? People think they have variety because, like, for breakfast I had Special K. For lunch I had a sandwich. For dinner I had a whole grain bagel and a potato and whatever, right? And you're just eating grains. It's all the same stuff, guys. It's all the same stuff. So one of the first questions I get when people get their approved foods list is they write to me very confused, and they genuinely mean this. Now, I'm going to be silly about it because I'm Justin, but this is what they do. They go, hey, just so you know, healthy foods XYZ, they're not on your list. Clearly, this is an oversight. I just want to let you know that you forgot to put oatmeal on your list. No, I didn't. I did not forget the oatmeal. It's not there for a reason, okay? What these people don't realize is they think they're referring to a specific food. They're just referring to grains. That's it. All grains in America, domesticated grasses, come from the same family of domesticated grasses, right? It's called the Gramineae family, in fact. Look up the Gramineae family. That's where all grains come from. They're all the same nonsense, okay? Now, whole wheat anything, bread, oatmeal, rice of any kind, brown rice, white rice, wheat, rye, oats, barley, millet, rice, sorghum, it's all the same stuff. All the same family of that Gramineae domesticated grains. It's all the same, guys. It's all the same, all the same. I can't say that enough, right? Now, people seem to miss the point that all grains are bad for the exact same reason, because they contain proteins that do not belong in your body. They are non-human foods. This is irrefutable. I can show you the anthropological data for this from skeletal fossils and isotopes, right? Of what our hunter-gatherer ancestors ate. It wasn't grains. And when they started eating grains, our skeletons shrunk. Our skulls shrunk. Wisdom teeth don't fit in our head anymore. It's terrible for you guys, right? There are proteins in these grains called lectins. And I talk about lectins a lot. Lectins cause gut permeability. They destroy your gut health. They cause systemic inflammation. They cause every single problem known to man. Okay, now I don't have time to cover this in detail, so AMA number 24 is called Back to Basics, Lectins and Leaky Gut. That's where we do a deep dive on the tight junctions in your gut and how they break apart, zonulin, how all these things happen in the gut that cause inflammation, systemic inflammation throughout the body. They destroy the lining of your gut, they cause autoimmune conditions and systemic inflammation. All grains do this, period. Okay? They are not fit for human consumption. The biggest offenders are WGA, which is called agglutinin, wheat germ agglutinin, right? That's called WGA. Now WGA, this wheat germ agglutinin, is in every single grain. Every single domesticated grain has this WGA, okay? Terrible for you, notorious for storing adipose tissue. It's horrendous. Now the most well-known lectin of all time is gluten. Gluten is a lectin. Particularly, there is a protein in gluten-containing products called gliadin, okay? Horrible for you, but it's the most well-known one. Why do people avoid gluten? They don't know it, but it's because of lectins. That's how celiac disease works. Now, I want to be clear, again, it's all the same. It doesn't matter if it's brown rice, pasta, bagels, bread, cereal, oatmeal, it's all the same garbage. In fact, the bran of brown rice, the reason why brown rice is brown, contains more lectins than white rice does. And yet somehow people still think that brown rice is healthy. It's horrific for you. If you had to pick a rice, you'd want it to be white rice because it removes some of the lectins, but it's still going to spike the shit out of your insulin and your blood glucose and cause problems with a trade-off of almost no vitamins and minerals. Why would you do that? Now, to be clear, grains are basically over 60% of the standard American diet right now, and it is why our nation is literally dying. 70% of adults are overweight, 30% of adults are obese, which means at least 30 pounds or more overweight. Many of them are morbidly obese. 100 million plus people are diabetic and pre-diabetic. Clearly, we got something wrong. The food pyramid. All grains. That is why you're sick. When you come to me, usually because of grains. That's why you're sick. So it's very clear that we got something wrong. So again, all these domesticated grains, they attack your immune system because they're pissed you're eating them. These are plant defense mechanisms. They're like weapons for plants because they don't want predators, aka us, to eat them. So they attack us from the inside out, okay? So leaky gut is one of the #1 problems in modern health. It's tied to everything. If you have Alzheimer's, you have leaky gut and inflammation. If you have type 2 diabetes, you have leaky gut and inflammation. If you have a cardiac event, that's leaky gut and inflammation. You can't have a cardiac event without inflammation, right? Inflammation is tied to everything. ADHD, inflammation, literally. Everything is inflammation, okay? So 9 times out of 10, when you come to me and you say, hey, XYZ food isn't on your food list, I think you forgot it, it's not there because of lectins, because it's not just grains. So I'm gonna touch on this real quick. Fruit is also loaded with lectins, most fruits, okay? There are some fruits that are acceptable. Most fruits are loaded with lectins. Now, anything with seeds is technically a fruit. People always come to me, they're like, how come there's no zucchini on your list? How come there's no tomatoes on your list? These are vegetables that are very good for you. No, they're technically fruit. They're technically fruit. They contain seeds, same with peppers, and they are loaded with lectins. I want you guys to understand that, okay? Even almonds, cashews, if there's nuts on there that you think should be on there that aren't there, it's because of lectins. Trust me, I didn't miss anything on the list, okay? This is also, there's lectins issues, all this inflammation, all these problems, is also why on the protocol I do not allow cheat days. Let's talk about cheat days. Cheat days. No, 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 no. Don't do it to yourself. Don't set yourself up for failure. This entire concept drives me absolutely insane. Most of you come to me very, very sick. Very sick. You already have leaky gut. You already have inflammation. You're already insulin resistant, right? You already have metabolic syndrome. You're very sick when you get to me. Very sick. We need to fix that first. And that all begins with healing the gut. It all begins with gut health, okay? We have to heal that first. Now let me talk to you about cheat days. This is what a cheat day is. If I tell you that you're going to eat pure Clovis foods for 6 days. Then, on day 7, you're going to go crazy and have a wild cheat day and eat a bunch of pizza and drink beer and eat ice cream sandwiches and whatever, right? I'm going to give you a cheat day on day 7. That is the equivalent of this. You get stabbed and you go to the hospital. They pull the knife out, they stitch you up and send you home. 6 days later, you rip all the stitches out on purpose and start pouring blood all over your precious hardwood floors, right? You're bleeding everywhere and you go, oh my God, my stab wound has reopened. I better go back to the emergency room. And you go to the emergency room and you say, please stitch up this gaping bleeding wound. And they stitch it up and then you go home for 6 days and you go, it's day 7, and you rip all the stitches out, and you bleed all over the floor like a stupid person. Why would you do this? Why? It's insane, you guys. When you are not fully healed, a guy like me, okay? Pompous moment. A guy like me, can I do a cheat day and handle it? Yeah, I'll probably feel a little crappy and have brain fog the next day, but it's not going to destroy my health. My gut is very strong because I've lived like this for years and I'm past the healing stage of things, okay? When you still need to heal, a cheat day is the stupidest thing you could possibly do for your overall health. Don't do this. And many of you have found that when you do the Clovis protocol for any length of time and then you decide, I'm going to test what Justin has to say, and you do a cheat day, you feel like you're dying. Your body goes right back to all the inflammation, all the terrible stuff, headaches, migraines. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I had a breakout. I have my eczema's back. My psoriasis is back, right? Your body freaks out because you went back to eating non-human foods that were causing all your problems to begin with. This is absolute insanity. And what drives me nuts is people talk about celebrities, right? Well, The Rock posts on his Instagram. I follow The Rock, right? He posts on his Instagram every Sunday an epic cheat meal, a whole plate of sushi or Cinnabons or whatever. And people say, The Rock does it and he's ripped. So I say, okay, when you are The Rock, when you are 6'6", when you are Samoan, you weigh 260 pounds of solid muscle at about 5% body fat. When you spend 6 hours a day in the gym for 20 years, okay? For 20 years, and you do all of the steroids via injection in your butt cheeks, then, once you have checked all of those boxes 20 years from now, then you can do cheat days like The Rock. Until then, I don't want to hear it. Okay? They're terrible for you, I promise you. Now, another thing we gotta touch on is salt shots. So I wanna leave some time for questions. Here we go. How many things do I have here? Okay, cool. I can smoke all that stuff real quick. Okay, so salt shots. I cover this at length in AMA number 4. Sodium is good for you in AMA number 42. Blood pressure, salt, and sex. Check out both of those. Long story short, salt is an essential mineral. Without it, you die. There is zero scientific evidence that salt intake, high salt intake, causes chronic high blood pressure. In fact, the evidence shows quite the opposite, that a low sodium intake can actually increase blood pressure. I go through this all on AMA number 42, okay? It's another thing the mainstream gets completely wrong with no evidence. Now, the other thing is, we talked about burning fat. When you burn fat, this means that ketones are elevated in your blood. You can learn that in the Fat Loss 101, AMA. As ketones are elevated and glucose levels are low, you excrete sodium, which means you need more sodium, okay? So for the average person, I recommend 3 to 6 grams of sodium per day. 1/2 teaspoon is 1 gram of sodium. Now, I tell you to supplement with Redmond's Real Salt. All that a salt shot means is it's anywhere from 1/4 teaspoon, a 1/4 teaspoon, to 1/2 teaspoon. You can either put it in a couple ounces of water, take it like a shot, and then drink clean water behind it, or you can throw it in water and blend it like I do. I do 3 grams first thing in the morning. Just try to get 3 grams minimum of sodium per day. That's what a salt shot is. In the beginning, when you're going through your sugar detox, you're actually going through salt depletion. That's part of why you get headaches and such. So these salt shots help the headache, help you get through the detox process. It is essential for your health. Without salt, you die. I want to be very clear about that, okay? So super important. That's what a salt shot is. Work your way up slow. If you try 3-4 grams right off the bat, you're going to get diarrhea. That's another thing. You can't overdose because your body will get rid of it long before any harm is done, okay? So that's what a salt shot is. Anyone who's wondering about salt shots. You watch these AMAs, AMA number 4 and AMA number 42, do the salt shots. They're very, very important, especially in your detox period. Quarter teaspoon to half a teaspoon. Do it every 4 hours. If you feel a headache coming on, do it again and it will fix everything for you. It's literally a miracle. It's unbelievable how powerful this stuff is. And then just salt your food throughout the day. You don't only have to supplement. Salt your food, makes it taste delicious, you get more sodium, all is well. Now another thing we want to talk about is, what about restaurants? This question is one that also makes me laugh because I want to point out what this is. The reason why you struggle in restaurants is because you care what other people think. That's it. Trust me, I've been living this way for years and I could count on 3 fingers the number of times that I've come across a restaurant that was not accommodating. That's not the problem. You don't want to be the weird one at the table. That is the problem. I don't give a shit, right? Remember, you don't work for the restaurant. The restaurant works for you. What do I do in a restaurant? I scan the menu. Do I see anything that says grass-fed or wild caught? If not, okay, cool, I can work with this. I'm going to go with beef. Beef over chicken and salmon. Chicken and salmon, not pasture-raised, not wild caught, is nastier than grain-fed cattle. I can deal with the grain-fed beef, okay? So I try to find some form of meat. Maybe it's a steak, maybe it is, at the worst case scenario, they're gonna have a burger. Order a burger with no bun, beef patty, say, can you add bacon? Cool. Can you add a fried egg? Cool. Can you add avocado? Cool. Can you put it on a bed of lettuce? Cool. Can I get a side of steamed broccoli? Cool. You're done. That's it. All you have to do is ask the waiter if they have approved foods. Do you have meat? Do you have avocado? Do you have veggies? That's it, guys. Super simple. Stop caring what people think at the table. That is the only issue that you're having. And when they say, would you like bread? Don't try to tell the waiter that you're paleo. Don't do that. Don't say you're paleo. Don't say you're keto. None of that stuff, right? Don't. Just modify what you order. When they say, would you like some bread and olive oil? Just go, no, I'm good. That's it. Nice and easy, right? And we're going to talk about haters in a minute. We're going to touch on that too. All you have to do is order approved foods. That is it, you guys. That's it. It's so simple. Restaurants are so simple to navigate, it's not even funny. But you have to stop caring what people think, okay? Now, the other thing I want to touch on is the expense. It's too expensive to eat healthy. That's what people talk about all the time. It's not true. Now this one, since a lot of you are new, I'm actually going to run through this real quick because I can, but I do this in detail in AMA number 27, and here's how I outline it. This is a myth, first of all. What happens is you're trying to come up with an excuse and you're doing it on purpose. Just being real with you guys. You know me. I don't pull punches. I don't bullshit, right? You're coming up with an excuse on purpose. That's what's happening. Because once you consume Clovis content, you go through this episode and you go, this guy makes a lot of sense, right? The science is irrefutable. You can't argue your way out of it. You can't make up a scientific excuse, so you make up a financial excuse. People do it all the time. I'm telling you, I know how their brains work. I've dealt with 500 plus people. I see it every day, okay? So you're grasping at straws here. But the financial thing doesn't work because it's also a myth. So I'm going to do this very quickly, and I outline this in AMA number 27, right? So let's say your grocery budget is $300, right? And you say, my grocery bill is $300 and I buy a bunch of beef for my whole family. Now you tell me that I need to get grass-fed beef, and grass-fed beef is $2 more per pound. I can't afford this. What you're thinking is that I'm adding to your $300 grocery bill. But that's not what's actually happening, okay? First thing you do is your whole house. Clean your whole house, and when you go grocery shopping, you are only buying from the approved foods list. What does that get rid of? It gets rid of fruit juice, Capri Sun, Doritos, Oreos, cereal, milk, cheese, Cheetos, Cocoa Puffs, I don't know, all the bullshit. You just get rid of all the bullshit, right? Remove this all. Now all of a sudden, you just saved $200. Your grocery bill is now $100. You can buy a whole lot of grass-fed beef and pasture-raised eggs before you get back to that $300 number, which you have already budgeted. I'm not telling you to budget more money for groceries. I'm telling you to reallocate the money to different foods. Super simple, you guys. Super simple budgeting. Diana Rogers has a great article on this where she lists 10 foods that ounce per ounce are more expensive than grass-fed beef. Diana Rogers was on my podcast. I'm going to release that interview soon. I'll give you an example. Snickers, the little tiny chocolate donuts that come in a sleeve, black bean vegan burgers, strawberries, Milano cookies. These are all examples of things that are more expensive per ounce than grass-fed beef. Don't give me the expense thing, it doesn't work. If you can do basic math, it doesn't work, right? I don't mean that in a negative way, I'm horrible at math. This is difficult for me. Like, I'm really bad at math. That's why I say that. Like, I can barely do basic math. I know how to tip. I move the decimal point over one place in the bill, and then I double it. So even if I have the worst waitress in the world, she's getting a 20% tip, because that's the only math that my dumb ass knows how to do, okay? So it's very simple math. Remove the junk, save a ton of money, reallocate to better foods. That's it. The expense myth, busted, gone, okay? Nice and easy. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, I got a couple more things. Yeah, I got 3 more things, okay? So the first thing I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to touch on this one really quick, is fasting, okay? I have to touch on this one because it drives me crazy, okay? So AMA number 25. Let me make sure that, yeah, AMA. That's called Fasting Facts from Fat Loss to Longevity. I talk all about fasting, okay? Now the question is, why do I not tell you to fast? Let me say that again. Why do I not tell you to fast? This happens all the time. I don't tell you to fast. I really, really don't. This is just like I made a comment about net carbs and everybody ran away with it, right? I have a fasting ebook called The Perfect Fasting Protocol. I did an entire episode on fasting. Fasting is a miracle freaking cure-all for more stuff than I can ever wrap my head around. It's insane. I'm like yet to find an issue that fasting can't improve. But I don't tell everyone to do it. This is not true. I don't do this like a blanket statement, okay? People go a little bit crazy with this. Reach out to me first. Get a custom nutrition plan and understand if I want you fasting from day one, it will be written into your custom nutrition plan. So what happens with these new people is they come in, I give them their whole plan, and they write me back, yeah, but what about fasting? Should I be doing 16-8? Do you want me to do an extended fast? What do I need to do? What about my fasting protocol? Don't do it. Don't. Why? Because Clovis is a dramatic lifestyle shift for more people. I'm telling you to get rid of 60% of your diet if you're a standard American, right? I'm telling you to get rid of 60% of your diet. Now I'm telling you to eat more because you're all malnourished. And I'm telling you to hit macros and track and buy new foods and all this. Why would I add another obstacle of fasting? I'm not saying don't fast because it's biologically bad for you, right? I'm saying don't fast because it makes things harder. Don't do this from the jump. You can get unbelievable results. Let's make sure that you hit your macros using your approved foods list. You can already do that. Once you can do that, get that down first. Then we can talk about the therapeutic modality of fasting, which is to be used sparingly, sometimes short term, unless we're talking about intermittent fasting. All that said, you can decide for yourself. Go to AMA number 25. Also, go to iamclovis.com, click the shop button, and click ebooks. You can find the Perfect Fasting Protocol. I highly recommend you buy the Perfect Fasting Protocol because it is very cheap for the amount of information that you get. It tells you everything you need to know about every type of fast you could ever think of. You can go to the store right now and buy it. iamclovis.com and just go to shop and ebooks. Shop, it'll drop down, click ebooks, the Perfect Fasting Protocol. Go buy it. Learn everything that you need to know about fasting. Nice and easy, okay? Now let's talk about how to handle the haters. Yes, guilty, Laura, correct. How to handle the haters. And what I mean by this is your family. How to handle your family. Because for some reason, your wonderful, loving family, as soon as you decide that you're not eating refined carbohydrates anymore, they all become food scientists, magically, and they yell at you about your food choices behind their 50 extra pounds of body fat. It's hilarious. Let's be honest. It's ridiculous, you guys, okay? So let's talk about this. How to handle the haters, aka your loved ones. Now I want you to go watch AMA number 12. It's called What's Holding You Back. And in the episode, I teach people, because it was a few days before Easter, so I teach people how to navigate Easter Sunday. Now what happened is something that I said in this AMA became one of the most famous quotes I've ever had in the history of Clovis. That quote is, quote, "Stop shitting in the punch bowl, you dick." End quote. One of my most famous quotes of all time. I'm very proud of my work, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, I was explaining that the only words you need at a family event are 3 words. No, thank you. That's it. No explanations, no disclaimers, no nutrition lessons. When someone passes you the bread, just go, "No, thank you." Not, "No, thank you, I'm paleo." "No, thank you, Justin says gluten is killing us." "No, thank you, fruit is loaded with lectins." Don't be that person. The dinner table is not the time to convince your 65-year-old Aunt Judith that the bread she's been eating for breakfast has been slowly killing her for 50 years. Stop shitting in the punch bowl, you dick. That's my little preview of AMA number 12. That's what we talk about. How to handle the haters, okay? You all care far too much what people think. You care way too much. All of you come to me and you care way too much. You lose sleep over your parents telling you that those eggs are gonna raise your cholesterol, right? Your family don't know shit about nutrition. I promise you, okay? Remember that. And some of your family might be doctors and they don't know shit about nutrition. I promise you, okay? So understand this. Now, when it comes down to family, I go off on this. And I'm sorry, I don't have the same belief systems as many of you, I'm sure. I don't have the same belief systems as most people. So I'm gonna give this to you Clovis philosophy style, coming from the brain of Justin, how I handle this. This is my show, I'm sorry. If you don't like it, I apologize. This is how I do things, okay? You all care far too much. If the people that you spend the most amount of time with, now you don't be the person to shit in the punch bowl, but if they won't leave you alone, if they're tormenting you, because you're trying to get healthy, that's a negative person. That is a negative person. If the people that you spend the most amount of time around are consistently negative, you give them a choice. Stop being negative or leave. It's that simple. What do I mean by stop being negative or leave? I mean, get a divorce. I mean, stop bringing the kids to grandma's house. I mean, stop letting your sister come over for family dinner. I mean, leave your deadbeat boyfriend who constantly reminds you that you have body image issues. Leave them. Leave them 100%. This is the way that I feel about this. It's that important. The people that you surround yourself with is everything. You will never find success if you are surrounded by negative people. That kind of bullshit has no room at my table in my life, okay? It's unacceptable in my world. If you're negative, you leave. I don't care if you're blood. If you're negative, you leave. Now, you can come back and I will welcome you with wide open arms. I will give you a hug and I will tell you that I love you, assuming that you are ready to be a good person who's gonna let me live my life the way that I want to, right? Particularly when I'm doing something that's good for me and you just want to drag me down because you're fat and you want me to be fat with you and I make you feel bad because I'm finding success, which is what's happening with your family. You're making your overweight family feel bad about themselves. Push that stuff out of your life. Push it out of your life as quickly as you can. You have to make a decision. I don't know about you guys, but in my life, I set the boundaries of what I will accept for myself personally. One of the things I do not accept in my life is verbal abuse. I don't do it. This is very serious, you guys. I know I'm funny and make silly voices and make fun of people and blah, 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 right? This is very serious. If the people that you're around the most are negative, get new people. It's more important than the food you eat. It's more important than any other lifestyle decision you make. Cut the negative people out now, okay? Now, the last thing I'm going to touch on, and then I'm going to jump into your comments, is alcohol. Real quick on this one. AMA number 2. AMA number 2, way back the second one I ever did, the second week, I get asked about alcohol so much that AMA number 2 was called Alcohol Doesn't Make You Fat. That is true. Alcohol doesn't make you fat. It's still a toxin, but it doesn't make you fat. It's all the other shit. margaritas and beer and Bloody Marys and mimosas and sweet red wine and sweet white wine. It's all the sugar and the stuff that you mix with the alcohol that's a problem. So I'm going to end this segment, this entire AMA, just by leaving you all on the edge of your seats and saying, if I had it my way, I would prefer that you drink pure alcohol every single day over fruit juice, soda, diet soda, energy drinks, your mocha choca frapple bullshit latte at Starbucks every morning. I would literally prefer you drank alcohol every day. If I had to choose an alcohol for you to drink over those nonsense products, it would be Dry Farm Wines. You can go to dryfarmwines.com. dryfarmwines.com/Clovis. Nice and easy. They're my friends, the founders. They're amazing people. Go learn all about it. Go to dryfarmwines.com/Clovis. Literally, I would prefer alcohol over the fruit juice, jamba juice, whatever you're drinking. Way better. Trust me. It's kind of crazy. I know. Whew. All right, everybody. That was AMA number 45. I did it in under an hour. Amazing! I can't believe it. Those were all the most frequently asked questions I got. Now remember, there's going to be in-depth show notes with direct hyperlinks to all these. AMA number 2, Dry Farm Wines, AMA number 12, AMA number 42, AMA number 25, AMA number 11, all the AMAs. I'm telling you, all the content is there waiting for you to absorb, okay? Now, the best thing you can do go to iamclovis.com/start. Get yourself a custom nutrition plan. At iamclovis.com/start, I'm giving you a free 7-day trial. That does not include custom nutrition plan, doesn't include custom macros, but you will get my ebook, The Perfect Fat Loss Guide, for free, which is a full 30-day protocol. You get that ebook for free, and you get full access to iamclovis.com/members. You get full access. That means you get to see the entire approved foods list, my whole reading list, my favorite podcast, videos of me talking to you, teaching you about macronutrients, teaching you about micronutrients, teaching you about all sorts of things. All the membership access, you get it 100% free for 7 days. Go to iamclovis.com/start. You have no reason not to take advantage of a free 7-day trial. I've been racking my brain for a year trying to figure out how to get people to just pull the damn trigger so I can save your life. This is the way to do it. iamclovis.com/start. Free 7-day trial, full access to everything, okay? Now, let's jump into some comments. What do we got, ladies and gents? How was AMA number 45? Did you like it? Did I cover everything? Amy, I still have people comment on how many eggs our family eats in a week. Way better than cereal, and my kids don't beg for food right after breakfast anymore. Exactly, because they're satisfied, right? Nutrient density. It's all about nutrient density. Amen. 'Twas a good AMA. Yes, she's talking about number 12 with Easter. Mom picked a good one to tune into. Yes. Hi, Mom. What's up? Don't shit in the punch bowl. No. Family can be a-holes. That's true. Not mine. They don't pull that crap. But maybe say you're lactose intolerant. Oh, but many say you're lactose intolerant because so many places suck at actually leaving the cheese. Oh, maybe say you're lactose intolerant in a restaurant. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's true. Or if you order a cheeseburger, just tell them no cheese, you know? But yeah, that's true. You could be the food allergy person. You could be. It's a little tricky though. Up to you. You could walk in and say you're celiac. You could walk into a restaurant and say you're celiac. Everything changes. But do not walk into a restaurant and say, I eat gluten. That's a quick way to get your food spat in by the waitresses, right? Because they're tired of that shit. Most people don't even know why they're avoiding gluten. Most people don't even know that gluten and gliadin are proteins. They don't know that, okay? So don't say you're avoiding gluten. You can say you're celiac, and that will change the whole restaurant. Everything gets different, and that's kind of cool. I recommend that, actually. In water, shot and chase it, quarter salt and water, or just put straight in your mouth. Whatever you want to do, Stevie, it's up to you. I put salt in my mouth all the time, but a lot of people can't do it. People say all the time to me, they like do salt shots and throw up. I'm like, really? I don't know. I don't get it. You could drink pickle juice, only fermented pickle juice. Drink some fermented pickle juice. There you go. Eat fermented pickles. Eat sauerkraut. Get more sodium that way, you know, salt your food a bunch. You don't necessarily have to supplement it, but you want to make sure you're getting 3 grams. If you're getting 3 grams of sodium, you're probably gonna have to supplement. Quarter teaspoon, I do 3 grams. So it's 1.5 teaspoons that I do. Don't do what I do. Don't do this. Just to be clear, don't do this. I'm talking into the microphone. Don't do this, right? I do 3 grams first thing in the morning, blended with a blender immersion stick in 16 ounces of water. First thing in the morning, that's the first thing I do every single day. But you gotta work your way up to that, right? Because if you try 3 grams right off the bat, you're probably gonna get diarrhea. So start with quarter teaspoons, half teaspoons, a few times throughout the day, and see what's best for you. Like, you can mix it with 8 ounces of water, but some people think that drinking salt water is really nasty, so it might be better to just get the shot out of the way, which is why we call it a salt shot, right? Now, salt shots, actually, the idea of it, I first came out with when I was telling people how to get over hangovers, which it really helps with. People actually do take out their sutures. Yes, they're very dumb people. Best analogy ever. Yes, that's true. That's exactly how leaky gut works, okay? All right, now those are the old comments. Let me see some of these new comments and hit me with more and more questions. You guys have to have questions. There's no way I just went through all those topics and you don't have questions. Let's see. I still have people comment on how many eggs. Okay, we're there. How long does it take to turn yourself around? I know this is a lifetime commitment. I want to make myself well. Depends on how far gone you are, Judy. You know, it takes time. It's going to take time. If you come to me, blanket statements, I'm not saying anything about anybody, right? If you come to me and you have 150 pounds to lose, it's going to take some time, you know? Now, you can go to iamclovis.com/start. You're already in, so you don't really need to worry about it, but you can see the testimonies. You can also go to iamclovis.com and click the transformations page and see some of these things. I mean, there's people that have been in Clovis for 6 months that have lost 100 pounds. There's people that have been in for 6 months that lost 70 pounds. Their entire life is different, right? This isn't a matter of months. So what I try to tell people is this idea of finite versus infinite games. This is the rest of your life. If I can get you back on track in a year, when you are 65 years old, you're not even gonna remember the year it took to get healthy. You're gonna remember the last 10 years where you were healthy and vibrant. It's people come to me and they're trying to undo decades of damage. Decades of damage, and they want it fixed in 20 days because they've been sold detoxes and boot camps and challenges and Whole30 and Beachbody and bullshit. It doesn't happen in 30 days. Consistency is king. Another big question I get, what happens at the end of 30 days? Keep going. Doesn't change. You keep going. If you're not looking for a permanent protocol, Clovis isn't for you. This should be the rest of your life, okay? But to answer your question, I don't really know. It's an impossible question to answer. It really is impossible. Now, the more strictly you adhere to this, the more strictly you only do approved foods, the more strictly you hit your macros every single day, the more strictly you nail your salt shots, the more strictly you do everything that I tell you to do, the faster this happens for you. 100%. I get unbelievable results in people. But all the amazing testimonies that you see, those are people who followed instructions, you know? So I can't give you an exact answer, right? Decades of diet since I was 10. Yeah, decades of wrong information. You wouldn't be here if that information was correct. So you've done a lot of damage, but we will undo it. I'm telling you, I promise you. Just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, okay? Stevie, on the approved foods list, you listed LaCroix, but that soda tastes like balls. Do you have an opinion on other... Yeah, Zevia's on there. Did you not see Zevia? Get back on there and look. There's plenty of options on the approved foods list. I didn't miss anything, okay? Zevia is straight up soda, and it's friggin' delicious. I don't even drink it because my taste buds can't handle it. It's so sweet, I literally can't do it. Can't do it at all. Can't touch it. I can't do this sweet stuff that you guys do. That's the other thing you're gonna find is your taste buds are going to change as you do this. You will no longer want the nasty sugar stuff, and then you're gonna try sugar, and it's gonna taste terrible to you. Yeah, Bubble is one that I didn't know about when I made the approved foods list, that Bubble, B-U-B-L. Pretty good, carbonated water. Guys, just drink water. Ugh. Sorry, I hate to be a downer, but drink frickin' water. Drink water. Can I say that again? Drink water. Drink water. Drink water. There's nothing in my fridge. Nothing. There's not a single liquid in my house except for black coffee and water. I have coffee beans, I have paleo powder, and I have water. That's it, guys. That's just me, right? 95% dark chocolate. Taza Wicked Dark is my favorite chocolate of all time. I have to be careful. I could eat an entire bar of Wicked Dark super easy. It's crazy. Coffee is water. Yes, I drink a ton of coffee. I love coffee. But again, I'm careful about coffee. If all the coffee you're drinking is out of a Keurig, you in trouble. Don't do that. Don't drink Folgers. Don't drink the Keurig stuff. Don't do that shit to your body. It's not good for you, okay? Coffee is a superfood, but only when sourced properly. Coffee could be its own episode, right? Source your coffee correctly. If your coffee doesn't have a roast date on it, throw it away, okay? Nice and easy. Taza Wicked Dark, could you tell us a little bit about the Oura Ring? Yeah, the Oura Ring is super cool. It's this right here. It has its limitations for sure. I like it. There's things I wish it did that it doesn't do, like it won't give you your heart rate in real time, which is a little annoying, but it's great for sleep tracking. It's a fantastic sleep tracker. It is a fantastic heart rate variability tracker. We can get into heart rate variability. It's the distance of time in between your heartbeats that shows how recovered your body is. It's very, very good for someone like me who's very active, who trains a lot. Because I can wake up in the morning and it takes my sleep schedule, the previous day's activity, my heart rate variability, which it takes a dozen times while I sleep, gives me a morning readiness score and tells me how ready I am to face the day. If my readiness is like an 85 or above, it'll be like, go lift weights, dude. If my readiness this morning was like a 71, because I've been killing myself. I did ridiculously hard workouts the last 2 days, and it was like, hey, take a rest day. Like flat out, it was like, rest day, right? So I listened to it. I go, okay, cool. Your body doesn't know what day of the week it is. Has no idea. Doesn't care about your training schedule, your Monday, Wednesday, Friday workout. Doesn't care. I don't go by a schedule, right? I train how I feel that day, and this helps me come up with a readiness score. Very cool, but it's going to run you, even cheap one's going to run you, I think, $3.99. It's a $400 product. It's up there. I got this one for free. But anyway, Dry Farm by chance. Oh yeah, I have 24 bottles of Dry Farm in my house right now because I love those guys. David from Dry Farm Wines. Love you, buddy. You're amazing. Thank you. Cannot thank you enough. Dry Farm Wines. Let's have a party. Everybody come over, okay? Whole Foods does, so does Kroger. How does it have to be brewed? Doesn't matter how it's brewed. You can brew coffee however you want, as long as it's black coffee. Brands, please, of coffee. I have a French press and a grinder. Yeah, go to, I like Counterculture Coffee. Counterculturecoffee.com. They're a good one. Craftcoffee.com is a good one. And you're always going to get, like, it'll be delivered to your door and the roast date is 2 days ago. Because you can find them, like Shannon's saying, you can find some grocery stores will carry local coffee. The best thing to do is find a coffee shop in your area and just go there and buy the coffee beans there. I guarantee there is a coffee roaster somewhere in your area. They're freaking everywhere now. I have the #2 coffee roaster in all of America is here in Nashville. But I'm too lazy to go there because I work 15 hours a day for you guys from my home office. So everything gets delivered to my door. My wine gets delivered to my door. My clothes get delivered to my door. My coffee beans get delivered to my door. That's the way I do things. That's it, right? So I use counterculturecoffee.com. But to be clear, get single origin coffee. Everybody goes to these websites and they get the blends. Give me all the beans from everywhere. Get a single origin, whole coffee beans. Grind them yourself. Single origin coffee beans, everybody, and have the roast date on them. I don't eat beans that the roast date is past 4 to 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks maximum, right? I just don't do it. What else we got? I had a doctor once say fat cells never go away, they just change in size. Is that accurate? Yeah, to an extent, okay? So your doctor is probably not a nutritionist. Understand that. I want to be clear about this, Stevie, because you're new, and I say this a lot. The average doctor spends 4 hours learning nutrition through all of med school. I respect doctors immensely, but they're not nutritionists. Understand that. So, all right, I'll get into skin elasticity in a second. Just a second. But yeah, so fat cells, they can go away. All your cells can die. As they malfunction and die, they will leave. But you are shrinking fat cells, yes. When you're being not fat anymore, when I'm helping you lose fat, you are shrinking fat cells. Correct. Yes. Now, your tissues are not made of fat, right? All of your tissue is made of proteins. So you have another question. You have something about skin elasticity and how you do things correctly. You don't have to worry as much about it. Yes. Okay. So understand that proteins are what makes up all your tissues. So when you have excess skin, you've lost weight the wrong way, okay? So when people do extreme caloric restriction or things like that, you kind of waste away, right? And then you need a tummy tuck or whatever. So there's a great experiment of a guy who fasted 382 days. He was over 300 pounds, fasted water only and electrolyte tablets for 382 days. Went from 300 something pounds to 180 pounds with zero excess skin. So what happens is when you're fasting, when you're in a fasted state, low insulin, low blood sugar, your body searches for proteins for energy. It will start destroying protein cells. It'll start your proteins are made up of cells, okay? So amino acids make up proteins, proteins make up cells, cells make up tissue. All the tissue in your body is made of proteins, right? So your body will eat those proteins. It'll say, well, look at all this excess skin that has no metabolic advantage, whatever, whatsoever. It's not doing anything for the body. Let's eat all that so we don't starve, right? That's how that works. Fat cells are not, like your bones are not made of fat cells. Your bones are made of proteins, right? So it's a little bit tricky, but to answer your question, yes, you shrink fat cells, okay? What else we got here? Skin elasticity, missed the coffee link. I didn't post the coffee link. Counterculturecoffee.com and craftcoffee.com. I've lost 85 pounds since April. I have very little loose skin. It loosens and then visibly tightens. Excellent, fantastic. Or you have 2 babies at once. Yes, there you go. That is, that's serious business. I don't know, Jackie. We've talked about this. Sorry. All right, what else we got? Keep hitting me, guys. I love this. I want these questions. More questions. More questions. What do we got? Counterculture's at Whole Foods. That's awesome. Yeah, Counterculture is the one that I use. I love Counterculture coffee. It's delicious, tastes great, totally love it. No complaints at all. There's obviously Bulletproof coffee. Talk about that. There's a little bit of hype around that. Trying to think of what else there is. There's other delivery. Oh, Blue Bottle. Blue Bottle coffee is great. Intelligentsia coffee is great. I think Black Rifle coffee is a new one. There's tons of coffee. Caveman coffee. It's countless, guys. If you look if you search coffee subscriptions, you're gonna see a ton. Go to coffee subscriptions in Google. There you go. Nice and easy. Tea brands. Yeah. Rishi is a good tea brand. I like Yerba Mate. I can't remember who it's by. Four Sigmatic has some good teas. Traditional Medicinals. Traditional Medicinals has some good teas. You guys are making me rack my brain now. That's all I got for you for now. I don't really drink tea that much. There's another one. I can't remember. Autumn Smith from Paleo Valley told me about it. Can't remember what it's called. Sorry. But there you go. Why only sweet leaf stevia? Okay. Take a look at stevia products in your grocery store the next time you're in a grocery store for a little bit of fun. Okay? Because it is very difficult. Very, very difficult to find a stevia product that's number one ingredient is stevia. There are almost none. Sweet leaf stevia is actually stevia. So go look at Truvia. I think the number one ingredient in Truvia is maltodextrin. It's barely even stevia. How they get away with that bullshit is beyond me. Because it's Truvia, this is the stevia product, and the number one ingredient is maltodextrin. That's why. So again, I didn't miss anything. People are always like, what about stevia this? What about stevia that? Yeah, that's the one that I use. That's the one I recommend, right? Dextrose. Yeah, there you go. Should be worried about natural flavors in tea. I don't know. The natural flavors thing, guys, it's ridiculous. Look, all right, a couple things. At the end of the day, most of you, when you got to me, you were doing nothing but poisoning yourself all day, every day. So I also want to tell you not to be insane about this stuff. So natural flavors are tricky because natural flavors can be one of about 800,000 things, 800,000 ingredients or something like that. It's ridiculous according to the FDA. You could have a product that says natural flavors and it could be raw cacao. Organic raw cacao could be the natural flavors. Natural flavors could also be colostrum or extract from beaver anus. Literally, that could be a natural flavors. You have no way of knowing. So the best thing to do, and people don't think to do this, is call the company. Call the company and say, what is the natural flavors? In most tea brands, it's probably not anything harmful. It's really not. Just don't be crazy about this stuff, you know? No reason to get crazy. Trader Joe's Organic Liquid Stevia. Cool, awesome, have at it. Does soy affect male hormones if guy eat drink? Yes, absolutely. There's something called isoflavones. I'm trying to think, what AMA was this? It might be sodium is good for you. Somewhere around AMA number 4 or number 3, I talk about soy. I talk about soy many times, but soy is horrendous, okay? Do not, especially concentrated soy, like soybean oil, which is in a ton of stuff, right? Soy is it's basically a phytoestrogen, right? So it's an estrogen mimicking compound. So tell your man, whoever you got, your boyfriend, right? He's a fruit eating sugar burner and drinks soy milk. Oh, good Lord. Okay, tell him enjoy his bitch tits a few years from now, for real. And low testosterone and lower sperm count and all these things. I can point you in the directions of studies if you want to, but people don't actually want to read studies. They tell me they do, but they don't. I highly recommend you check out the book Estrogeneration. Long title. Estrogeneration. I'm probably going to get the author on the podcast, so you can check that out when that comes. But yeah, estrogeneration, check that out. These phytoestrogens are found. Soy contains more phytoestrogens than like anything else on planet Earth. It's an estrogen mimicking compound. Terrible for men. Awful. Your dad touched on grass-fed and grass-finished beef earlier tonight. Can you break it down when not grass-fed is okay? In a perfect world, I'd always want you to be grass-fed. Now, the number one reason for that for me is ethical reasons, moral and ethical reasons, the treatment of the animal, really more than anything. But if you break it down, the proteins and amino acids in grain-fed beef are virtually identical to that in grass-fed beef. The problem comes into fats, right? So the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio is completely different. There are these things that are fat-soluble, these toxins, hormones, things that they're injected with, antibiotics, injected with hormones, all these things that happen to the animal in these feedlot operations. So these things store in the fat. So if your animal was eating antibiotics, you're getting antibiotics in the fat. It's just the way that it is. And again, these phytoestrogens too, if they're feeding them all sorts of grain and soy, and they feed animal tons of soybeans, right? So now these animals have soy in all their fat cells, and you're eating a big fat ribeye steak. Probably not the best idea, you know? Just get grass-fed whenever possible. That's it. Nice and easy. Whenever possible, grass-fed. If you're in a pinch, you'll survive. I promise you. So don't worry about it. I'd like studies to get him to stop. The studies aren't going to change his mind. I promise you. I promise you. I've done that. Okay, I have done this for countless women in the academy. I don't do it anymore. I literally have had countless women say, if you send me the studies, I can get my husband on board. I have taken my time and gone to actual studies and written them piece by piece and given phrases. This study describes that this study describes that this study describes that this. Check in with them a month later, hubby still hasn't read it, doesn't give a shit. It's not gonna change his mind. If he wants to be a fruit eating sugar burner, drinking soy milk, he's gonna keep doing it. His light switch moment has to happen for himself. You can't force it. It's not gonna work. He likes the way it is now. It sounds like it, right? So the studies won't get him, I promise you, it's not gonna happen. I've been going through the AMAs, and so I haven't found the one you talk about the sauna and cold shower benefits. Oh, good Lord, I can't remember. I don't know. I'll find it. I can put it in the show notes. Here, I'll write this on the board. Only because I will see that, and I will remember that I have to put it in the show notes to talk about sauna and cold shower. But the biggest thing with sauna and cold shower, so I talk to people about cold showers in the morning. One, cold exposure, which is hypothermic exposure. Cold exposure can actually turn white adipose tissue into brown adipose tissue. Brown adipose tissue is metabolically active and burns calories. So you can literally burn fat just through cold exposure, but women hate to hear that. Start every day with a cold shower, okay? Now, another thing that's released during cold shower is norepinephrine. This is literally a happy pill. It affects your serotonin, it affects your norepinephrine. Like, if you do a cold shower for 3 minutes a day, ice cold shower, don't be a baby, right? And you get out, you will feel like you had 5 shots of espresso. You can take on the freaking world. Women in the academy who do cold showers, tell me how amazing you feel after it. Go ahead, put comments right now to tell Kayla. It's amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. The perfect temperature to sleep is anywhere between 65 degrees Fahrenheit and 69 degrees Fahrenheit. So I have a Nest thermostat. The Nest is set, so by the time I'm done this AMA, my house is gonna be 66 degrees. I sleep at 66 degrees in perfect pitch black. I wear an eye mask. Before bed, I go on the heat in the sauna, which does something called heat shock proteins. Heat shock proteins are fantastic for muscle recovery. It's a mild stressor on the body. Sauna is incredible for a ton of things. I was talking to a lady today. Sauna increases breast milk production because it can literally increase tenfold prolactin in your system, right? There's something called IL-6 that's released while you're in the sauna, which is incredible for relaxation and sleep. So then what I do is that IL-6 that's released in the sauna actually works a little bit like melatonin. Then I get an ice cold shower. The ice cold shower lowers my body temperature just before bed. Then I crawl into bed at 66 degrees. My deep sleep is unbelievable. I sleep like a baby, right? But there are a ton of benefits. So sauna therapy alone lowers risk of all-cause mortality, dying of anything, dying from anything. It can lower your risk by 40%. Sauna, 3 to 4 times a week, can lower your risk by 40% of all-cause mortality. That's nuts, you guys. That's why there's a sauna 10 feet away from me that's actually warming up as we speak because I time it to be done after the AMAs. I enjoy cold showers more in the summer. I enjoy them more in the winter. I hate them in the summer because they're not cold enough. I need a machine to make my water colder. It drives me nuts. Perfect time for awesome sleep. Still a big fat baby. Cold showers. I know you are. What else we got? Agree. It's been really cold here, but I've been sucking it up and doing them. Yes, steam is not a sauna. To be clear, there are almost no studies done on steam. Steam is not a sauna. So you want a dry sauna or an infrared sauna. Now, most of the scientific data around all-cause mortality is actually a dry sauna, but putting a dry sauna in your home is very, very difficult. So I have a full spectrum infrared sauna. It's a little bit different. It's not quite as hot because it kind of cooks you from the inside out on like a cellular level. It's very interesting, but it's tough to get I guess you could build a sauna. A lot of people build saunas. I don't have the square footage for all that, really. So I have an infrared sauna. I'm happy with it. If you have a sauna in your gym, you want dry sauna. I don't know much scientific evidence or data around steam. Really cold. What else we got, everybody? We got more questions, right? I know you do. Perfect temp, understood. Yeah, Liz, it's a bummer. Liz, you got to listen to, all right, this is tricky because it's on the old podcast right now, but I'm going to launch it this Saturday. This Saturday, I'm going to come out with Just Justin, episode number 2, and it's called Men and Insecurity. And I know that sounds harsh to say, but everything I've ever done, all my success is based on insecurity. I'm very vocal about struggling with self-love and struggling with insecurity. I've been that way my whole life. I was a fat kid and it led to all this. Like, there's a reason why I maintain 6-pack abs year-round because I have to for my mental sanity, right? I'm that messed up, okay? Let's just be honest about it. So Men and Insecurity is a whole episode I did, a podcast that I did that I'm gonna release this Saturday. And it might help you understand what's going on with your husband, and maybe your husband want to listen to it. There's a couple guys in the Clovis Academy and in I Am Clovis who heard that podcast and then instantly signed up for custom nutrition plans because they now understand where I'm coming from and what it's like for men. It's a little different for men, you know? Really cold, infrared or steam. Yeah, I don't know if you guys listen to the cold showers. I don't know if you guys listened to my episode with Autumn Smith from Paleo Valley. That's episode number 2 of the Perfect Paleo podcast. And Autumn said one of her number 1 daily rituals that she does every single day is a cold shower. And if you, in any way, want to be a female entrepreneur, I know there's a lot of you out there that are exploring entrepreneurship now. When you have a badass female entrepreneur that's like, yeah, taking cold showers every day is a game changer, trust me, you guys, we are so insulated, little babies. Americans are such tiny little sissy babies. You can't do a 3-minute cold shower? Yes, you can. I promise you, you can do it. You will survive. Deep breaths, and you will feel amazing. I don't even take hot showers, ever. The hot knob in my shower never gets turned. I feel weird. When I turn on the hot shower, I don't like it anymore. It's weird, right? Did you pay her to say that? Nope, not at all. Stephanie's back. Oh, you got a lot to catch up on, girl. And yes, a half teaspoon is 1 gram of sodium. Next time, look at the nutrition facts on your salt product. Come on now. I love questions like that. I'm like, take the Redmonds and spin it and go nutrition facts, sodium. Oh, look at that. Approximately 600 milligrams per quarter teaspoon. That's what your Redmond says. So you know that you're looking at about somewhere between 1,100 and 1,200 milligrams of sodium per half teaspoon, which is 1 to 1.2 grams. There you go, nice and easy. But no, I did not pay her to say that. Autumn, she loves cold showers. What else? Yeah, Stephanie, I'm just teasing you. I'm kidding, you know. All right, what else we got? Any more questions? It's almost 9:30. This is another 90-minute one. I said I was going to cut these to an hour, so we got to shut this one down. We can pick it up next week if you want to. Again, AMAs are going to be more for answering questions. That's really what I'm going to use them for. I'm going to use them for answering questions from the newbies. This is super beneficial. I think this episode is going to be super beneficial. It's easy for me to direct people, hey, AMA number 45 is called Back to Basics for the Newbies. It's got everything you need to learn about Clovis. It's fantastic, right? So, yeah, that's it. I hope I answered most of your questions. I answered all the questions from the comment thread inside of Clovis Academy. Go to facebook.com/group/Clovis Academy. Join the Clovis Academy. All you members in there, invite your 10 closest people. Stop messing around. I always ask you to do this and you never do it, ever. I'm mad at every single one of you. I'm furious, right? Get on there and invite your people. I don't care if you don't even think they'd like it. Just get on, add 10 of your people right now. Go to facebook.com/groups/Clovis Academy and add your 10 closest friends and let's make this shit spread. Please, I'm trying to change the world. Help me out here, guys. I need help changing the world. Get into the Clovis Academy and invite your 10 closest people that you love right now. Add them to the group, okay? Awesome. So, go to iamclovis.com/start. Get your free 7-day trial. Everything I have to offer, all the membership stuff. The show notes for this one are going to be insane. When I put this up on clovis.show, Jackie, when I put this up tomorrow, maybe, on clovis.show, all the show notes, and I'm going to give you insane show notes that mark down all the AMAs, all the everything they need. You're gonna click, 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 click. This will be your hub for your masterclass of all things Clovis. Let's do this thing, okay? Learn, 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 unlearn, relearn, learn, unlearn, relearn, okay? We're trying to undo all the nonsense of the last several decades. Judy, you're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of Clovis. Thank you for trusting me. Let's crush this thing together, get you insane results. We're going to, I promise. It's going to be great. All right, everybody. My name is Justin Nault. This is Clovis, live. Ask me anything, number 45. Back to basics for the newbies. Love you guys. I will see you in the live groups tomorrow. You'll have a new podcast. And all the AMAs are going up. I'm on number 19, I think. So all the AMAs are being transferred to the new Perfect Paleo podcast. Remember, leave me a review. The Perfect Paleo podcast. Leave me a review. Screenshot it, send it to me, justin@iamclovis.com. I just sent out a whole bunch of free samples to the 16 people who left me reviews. You will get a free sample pack of the Perfect Paleo Powder, retail value $20. Free Perfect Paleo Powder just for leaving me a podcast review. That's it. The Perfect Paleo Podcast. Leave me a review, all done, okay? So excited for my plan. Yes, let's do it. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow in the groups in the Clovis Academy for the Manifesto. My name's Justin Nault. Good night. I love you. Thank you. Go get a plan. See you soon.